Arsenal are confusing a lot of people. Look, personally, I think they're acting perfectly rational, but there's definitely some confusion within the Arsenal fan base. Some people not really understanding some of the movements that Arsenal are making. So I thought, why not bring it to you guys to get your opinion on it? Also, we've had an update on Bukayo Saka, which does affect the Liverpool game. So I thought, let's talk that right wing position as well. Before we get into the video though, you know the drill. My name is Jed, and if you do enjoy this content that I put out daily, help me out. Just hit like and subscribe on this video. So, like I said, we're going to speak about these decisions that Arsenal are making that are confusing everyone. But first, Bukayo Saka. The injury isn't as bad as what was initially feared, but he's still going to miss the Liverpool game. So the first question I want to ask you, let me know in the comments, who starts right wing for Arsenal versus Liverpool? Is it Madueke? Is it Nwaneri? Or is it someone else? Because of the introduction of Eze, it maybe frees someone else up that you would like to see him on the right. Who plays right wing versus Liverpool? Let me know. So, this decision. Look, Arsenal are tracking a defender. Arsenal are looking like they're going to make a move for a defender. And I'm already seeing people, Arsenal fans, content creators, coming out and saying, oh, Arsenal aren't ambitious. I can't believe we're moving for a defender. We're so close to getting that world-class attack. Maybe if we bring in one more attacker, we can complete the puzzle and finally compete for the title. And I'm like, well, then what was Eze? Surely the introduction of Eze must leave you feeling excited, but some people just want to be negative all the time. They can't understand. Like, it's a very simple explanation. If Jakub Kiwior leaves, we need to buy another defender. If you sell one of your defenders who's a part of the first team squad, you have to replace him. And people are saying, well, it's a lot of money to spend on a defender. That's just the market. That's what a good player costs. If you want a good player, they cost a lot of money. If Arsenal were linked with a £5 or £10 million defender, people would say, oh, do you know what? Arsenal lack ambition. They're going for the cheap option. They're not going for the good players. So yes, Arsenal are linked with a defender that's quite costly. Yes, they are. But they're also losing Jakub Kiwior, who we can trust in Premier League games, in Champions League games. I just thought it was funny. I'm starting to think that people are making these negative videos just to get the reactions, just to get the clicks, just to try and stir up something in the fan base, a tactic or way of conducting themselves that I don't understand personally. Let me know your thoughts on it. Do you understand that? Surely, come on, people have to be with me. If you sell Kiwior, you have to replace him with a good player. That is all that's happening. Let's speak Bukayo Saka, because this is something that's concerning. It's just so typical. You're going into a game against Liverpool, your title rivals, and you lose your best player, Bukayo Saka, your most consistent player, the one guy that we've been able to rely on for about 2 or 3 seasons to pop up with a moment when nothing seems to be happening. Bukayo Saka has been the talisman for Arsenal, but again, he seems to have a hamstring issue. Is this Bukayo Saka being overplayed when he was a youngster and being too competitive and Mikel Arteta not resting him maybe when he had the chance to? Or is this just terrible luck? Saka, terrible hamstring injury last season. Saka, a not so bad one this season. But are we starting to see some signs of Bukayo Saka maybe breaking down in terms of being overplayed? I don't know. I just think it's bad luck personally. I just think it's terrible luck, and to not have Saka in that game is huge. But we have to move on, unfortunately. This is football. There's still a game to be played, and there's still a question that needs to be answered. Who does play on that right wing? Last season, we saw the emergence of Nwaneri playing on that right wing. So many people were impressed with his performance. Look, if I'm being honest, his best performances for me in an Arsenal shirt so far have been on that right hand side. We saw Nwaneri in the last game being played central because Martin Odegaard came off with an injury. So we saw Nwaneri played centrally. Personally, I don't think he affected the game as much as he does when he's on that right hand side. When he receives it wide, I think he's far more likely to beat a man. His quick feet, his ability to go past players, I think it puts it on show a lot more on that right-hand side. Again, he can play central, but for me, this is the perfect game to play Eze central, and some people might even say don't play Eze in this game. Let me know if you agree. Some people might say, look, Eze's just got to the club. You can't throw him in the deep end against Liverpool. And I guess that is kind of a bit of a thought pattern that I do understand. You don't want to throw a player in and expect them to perform straight away or put a level of pressure on them where it's like, look, this is a title deciding game. In you go, perform for us. You better score or assist, otherwise there's going to be people start slating you. It's going to be difficult for Eze. Personally, I throw him in. Like I said, the good thing about Eze is he's not coming from a foreign league. This isn't a player where there's going to be an adaptation period, you would hope. Now, he's obviously moving up in terms of level of club. Crystal Palace are a very classy club. But in terms of stature and probably pressure on players, there is more at Arsenal. The only other thing is he's not fully understanding of what Mikel Arteta expects from players so far. But if I'm being honest, in a game like this, that might be beneficial. Now, look, you always want a player that's going to do what the manager says, but at times when you need a player to take initiative and have that spark, do something different, he's not systemised yet, so he could still have that flair or that freedom that he had at Crystal Palace. Maybe that could be perfect in a game like Liverpool. Then again, maybe Mikel Arteta can sit with him and put across his message in what he wants him to do, because that position is important for Arsenal. We see Odegaard in many games, and we even saw Nwaneri in the last game. That guy, the right A, is the guy that leads the press. There's a big responsibility because the guy who leads the press is kind of effectively starting the whole press. So will Mikel Arteta put him straight in at that position, or maybe will he put him on the left? Look, I've said previously, I wouldn't be opposed to seeing Gabriel Martinelli on the right, because I think his qualities suit what kind of player he is. He likes to go past the player, but more than not, he likes to go onto the outside. Now, he can float centrally, and he actually nicks a goal when he gets it centrally, but it's not happened too much the past couple of seasons. Gabriel Martinelli for the past season, even pre-season, we've seen him go on the outside, and then he's always on his left foot. He's always on his weaker foot, so the final action isn't as strong as a lot of us would like. So if he's on that right-hand side, maybe he can go past the player and be on his favoured right foot. But again, this is Liverpool. Maybe this isn't the game to experiment, so I wouldn't expect to see Martinelli in that position. But with Bukayo Saka out for a period of time, you know, the whispers, and we might have had confirmation. At the time of recording this, we don't have anything. The kind of rough answer is maybe 4 to 6 weeks. If that's something different, of course, let me know in the comment section. But at the time of recording, that's kind of the rough number. If he's out for that length of time, then I think there will come a game where you can try Gabriel Martinelli on the right-hand side. Again, it's a bit of a curveball. We haven't really seen it, but I just think his attributes would be suited over on that right-hand side. But for this Liverpool game, I'm expecting it to be Madueke. I'd be surprised if it's Reece Nelson. I wouldn't be totally shocked. But for me, Madueke, when he drifted over to the right-hand side in the last game, I thought he done very well. So I wouldn't be surprised if Madueke is on the right, and then maybe we do see an Eze in the left. I personally do want to see him more central, because again, I just think the way he works and his preferred position is centrally. Some people say, well, he's going to now be our starting left winger. Maybe. Mikel Arteta, I'm sure, has his own vision or opinion on what he sees Eze is, and it's interesting to see how it's going to play out. But what is Eze's role in this game? What is the right winger going to be in the Liverpool game? Let me know in the comment section. Thanks so much to everyone for watching and listening. Before you go, like I said, if you could do me a quick favour, it is absolutely free. Just hit like and subscribe, and I'll speak to you all in tomorrow's video. Gooners, have a good day.